Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration Hub. I am sure you have heard the latest news. For years, having an employment authorization document, the EAD, was a small but powerful reassurance for immigrants waiting on their green cards. It meant that even when USCIS processing dragged on, people could still work, keep their jobs, support their families, and move forward while the system caught up. But that safety net has just been pulled back. In this video, we'll talk about how the end of automatic work permit extensions in October 2025 is changing the lives of thousands of immigrants waiting for their green cards, how this connects to the broader immigration climate under the Trump administration, and what it means for you if your status or renewal is still pending. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now, let's get into the video. For anyone who has ever filed for an EAD renewal, there was always a sense of relief when you knew an automatic extension kicked in. It allowed you to keep working while your new card was still being processed. That 540-day grace period wasn't just a convenience. For many, it was survival. But as of October 30th, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security officially ended that automatic extension for most categories of EAD renewals. The change sounds technical, but it has enormous consequences. If you file your renewal or adjustment of status EAD after October 30th, you no longer have an automatic right to keep working while waiting. Your employment authorization ends the day your card expires, unless the renewal is already approved. For thousands of families, that could mean sudden job loss, interruptions to medical insurance, paused projects, or even questions about whether they can legally stay in the country while their adjustment is pending. USCIS clarified that renewals filed before the deadline still benefit from the old automatic extension rule, but everything filed after will not. To understand how significant this is, you need to look at the broader pattern of immigration policy through 2025. Processing times at USCIS remain lengthy. Family-based green card petitions are still moving slowly. Employment-based green card backlogs, particularly for India and China, continue to stretch for years. The monthly visa bulletin, which guides who can move forward, is showing only modest progress, and in some categories, no movement at all. Under those conditions, people waiting for a green card have relied on the EAD to stay afloat. That piece of plastic was the bridge between now and their permanent residency. Losing it, even temporarily, threatens not just employment but everything tied to it. Mortgages, children's schooling, healthcare coverage, and daily security. But this is not just about the end of automatic extensions. It is part of a broader tightening trend inside the immigration system under the Trump administration. Officials at USCIS and the Department of State have introduced stricter vetting rules and revived old investigative tools that had gone dormant for decades. Neighborhood and workplace checks for citizenship applicants have returned. Officers are being encouraged to review applicants' public statements and online activity to determine good moral character and even ideological alignment. For those in the legal immigration pipeline, these moves signal a deeper message that compliance alone may no longer be enough. Every renewal, every travel request, and every interview now carries higher scrutiny. Let's imagine what this looks like in practice. You're in the United States on a non-immigrant visa. Your employer has filed an I-140 petition for you. Your priority date is close to becoming current, and you're ready to file your I-485 for adjustment of status. You also rely on your EAD renewal to keep working. Under the previous rules, you could file your renewal, keep working while waiting, and your life continued without pause. But under the new rule, if your renewal is still pending when your card expires, you must stop working immediately. No exceptions. That gap, even if it lasts a few weeks, can cost you your job. It can also create a record of unauthorized work, which could later complicate your green card application. Employers unsure of the rules or fearful of penalties may let workers go, even if the renewal is only days away. And for many immigrant households, that means financial instability overnight. If you're outside the United States waiting through the National Visa Center or consular process, the impact feels different but just as heavy. You're already facing slow movement in the visa bulletin. Every month that passes without progress means another month of separation, another year of planning delayed. And while your job back home might remain stable, your future in the U.S. remains uncertain as consular backlogs and policy reviews deepen. When you add this new rule to the mix, the legal immigration process starts to feel less like a queue and more like a test of endurance. It's not only about submitting forms correctly, it's about surviving the waiting period without losing the ability to live and work lawfully. It's also important to note that this change arrives amid growing enforcement measures across USCIS and ICE. Earlier in 2025, the Trump administration authorized internal hiring of armed officers within USCIS, a move that shifted its traditionally service-based identity closer to enforcement. The message from Washington has been clear. Immigration benefits will now be tied more tightly to compliance, security screening, and loyalty checks. The end of the automatic EAD extension fits perfectly into that broader narrative. It reduces administrative flexibility and forces immigrants to live with sharper consequences for bureaucratic delay, even when the delay isn't their fault. So, what can you do if you are affected? First, understand the timeline. If your EAD is due to expire soon, check whether you can still file under the old rule. If not, submit your renewal early, as far in advance as USCIS allows. That gives your application more time to process before your current card expires. Second, communicate with your employer. Many companies are unaware of this policy change. Let them know that delays are possible and that you may need temporary flexibility while your renewal is pending. Third, prepare for financial cushions. Plan ahead for potential income gaps, especially if your renewal timing falls in late 2025 or early 2026. Avoid major financial commitments until your authorization is renewed. Fourth, stay informed about the visa bulletin and your category movement. For some applicants, filing the adjustment of status earlier when the filing date becomes current may help secure longer protection under pending status, including work authorization once it's approved. And finally, remember that this is not about hopelessness, it's about preparation. Immigration systems evolve, often unpredictably, but informed applicants can still navigate them successfully. Acting early, keeping your documentation flawless, and maintaining open communication with your employer can prevent major setbacks. Still, the emotional weight of this policy change can't be ignored. For many, this is more than a paperwork issue. It's about trust, the belief that the system will not punish those who follow the rules. When automatic extensions disappear, that trust feels shaken. The people most affected are not undocumented or unlawful migrants. They are skilled workers, family-based applicants, and legal immigrants who have spent years investing in this country. In the words of one immigration attorney who spoke recently to news outlets, "We are watching the erosion of predictability in legal immigration." That statement captures the moment perfectly. The process still exists, but it no longer guarantees stability along the way. If you're an applicant today, your green card dream is still alive, but the path has narrowed. Every delay now matters, every filing date counts, and every renewal must be planned with precision. What was once automatic is now conditional. So, as we close this update, take this as a reminder. Plan early, stay organized, and stay aware of each policy change, because in today's environment, preparedness is no longer optional. It's survival. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration Hub channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.